Hi guys, first of all I want to say Happy New Year to all my subs, new and old, and to everybody that showed me a lot of support this year, and to everybody that's given me some really great information and also sharing emails with me and links and everything. I really do appreciate that, because it also helps me to get the information out there. If I've looked through it and I can see it's valid and I have the evidence to back it, obviously I'm going to make a video about that. This video may be a little bit rambly because as usual, I haven't got anything written down, but I just know what my thoughts are, so I'm just going to try to get that down. Just going to check my camera's recording. Yep, that's recording. So the thoughts that I'm having are, I'm seeing a trend on YouTube, and it's mostly on the bigger channels, the bigger so-called truther channels. And that is that they're calling everybody out to be a shill. Now, this word shill, in the year 2015, the word shill lost all meaning. And that is because it was bandied about so much and so many people used the word shill, and they were calling out everybody to be a shill. And now the shills are hidden amongst us, but they're very comfortable amongst us now. And those with discernment will understand what I'm saying. So this is referring to mostly the bigger channels. So just because you reach a certain amount of subscribers, firstly, doesn't mean that you know everything. And secondly, it doesn't give you the authority to call out everybody now that has also usually got the same amount of subs that you've got. It's not up to you to now call out everybody as a shill because you've reached a certain amount of subs on YouTube. It doesn't then give you the authority to start calling everybody else out as a shill just because they don't agree with something that you agree with. Okay? And secondly, people that are sharing information on YouTube, I only support channels who give information and always give their source, so you can go back to the link yourself, you can investigate it yourself, you can find other links from this one source they've given you. And that's the kind of channels that I like, the kind of channels that show evidence with the video that they're making, which is what you should do. And then the person watches it, goes and looks at that information themselves, and then they can see that it's real. So what I'm getting at with that is, these channels that are calling out everybody to be a shill don't have any evidence. They come to their channel, they make this video, they start dirtying people's names, and they themselves are not showing any evidence that this person is an actual shill. Okay? Now, first of all, you must remember how clever these people are, and they're not going to be out in the open being a big massive shill, right? They do a lot of this stuff very underhand, and it's smaller channels attacking you usually, which is what I found when I was having, true shill problems. It was lots of smaller channels all linked to one channel that was doing it. But just because you get to a certain level on YouTube, I'm going to repeat, it does not give you the authority on who is and who isn't to be trusted. That is left for the viewer's discernment, and it's left for the person who's watching the video and listening to the video to decide that for themselves. And in actual fact, you are wasting your time by making all these videos. This person is a shill because they're wearing this colour shirt. They say about me, oh, I'm Illuminati because of my irregular colour eyes. Well, actually, guys, my eyes are brown. But the video effect that the video camera I use makes my eyes sometimes, if the light's on them, they do look lighter. That's how people can take things in a wrong way, yeah? But just because somebody is wearing a colour t-shirt that you think has a certain a message behind it, it doesn't make them a shill. Just because I like the colour purple, indigo, it's always been my favourite colour, always. But does that make me a shill? Yeah? If I wear my number on my shirt, if I'm wearing 72, whatever you think of that number, does that make me a shill? And another thing, if you go to somebody else's channel who you think is a shill, and you see somebody they're on that channel commenting or whatever, it's not then up to you to then want to turn on that person just because they're on someone else's channel. It's not up to you to tell somebody what information they want to be taking in. It's not up to certain people to tell you what to be looking at, you know, in terms of what knowledge you should be sharing. So what I'm trying to get at is I'm not telling you what sort of videos to make myself here, but I'm saying the trend that's happening and what is going on, it's actually not helping. It doesn't help. Because if you've got people looking into certain things and then you're just turning around and everyone is around you is a shill, people can start to look a bit paranoid. And I hope I've made some sort of sense here, but at the point that we're at here and we're entering a new year, to me, on YouTube, there are no leaders. It doesn't matter if you've got 3 subs and you're putting out some good information and people are watching your video, and it doesn't matter if you've got 1 million subs. There is nobody in charge. There is nobody leading this. Because if you think you're some sort of leader and you're in charge in this, then you have turned yourself into one of the elite yourself. All these people are worried about is how many subs they've got. Yeah? And everyone around them is a shill. They've developed some sort of paranoia complex going on where they can't trust anybody. Even though you're supposed to be sharing truth to change the world, there's no trust amongst people, which is also very sad. So, each to their own. You can watch what videos you want to. You can take in whatever knowledge you want to. It is down to the discernment of the person who is taking in that information and knowledge. And it's not up to anyone else to tell you who is not to be trusted and who is to be trusted. And in actual fact, the people who are not to be trusted, they don't need you to point the finger at them, because usually 99 times out of 100, they themselves are going to make a mistake. And they will step up and you'll know it's a shill. You'll know it's a proper troll. If you leave them to it, they will show themselves for who they really are. And that is what always happens. So there are no leaders on YouTube. It doesn't matter how many subs you've got. We're all in this together. It's about sharing information, not who is the top dog who can now start pointing their finger at everybody else being some sort of shill. That needs to stop in 2016. Peace out.